Hello and welcome to a video where I will tell you everything you need to know about the upcoming changes to the Japanese high tier heavies, specifically the tier 9 type 4 and the tier 10 type 5 heavy tanks. All information in this video is accurate to the second phase of the 9.17.1 test server, so things might change. Everyone who played the game recently at tiers 4 and higher would tell you that the Japanese heavy line is defined by their monstrous derp guns. The tiers 7 to 8 are one of the very few heavy tanks that have usable derp gun mounted on them, and the tier 6 OI heavy tank is known for its bullshit alpha handling and armor combined. However, this changes at tier 9, where the type 4 gets a fairly underwhelming 140mm gun, which is actually meant to be used with kinetic rounds. It does have good alpha, but that's about it. Wargaming decided to change the playstyle of the higher tier heavy so they are similar to their lower tier counterparts. So with patch 9.17.1 the Type 4 gets a very interesting 15cm howitzer with really good alpha of 1100 damage per shot, and the penetration is not too low either. 75mm means that you won't have many issues penetrating sides and rears of the more squishier targets. You can also choose to load a premium high explosive round that bumps the alpha by a whole 300, so your single shot damage is now valued at 1400. That is a lot. 75mm of penetration on both the high explosive rounds means you won't be doing much penetrating even if you attempt to snipe cupolas of other heavy tanks. But the giant alpha means you generally deal at least 400 damage even to the most armored opponents, along with ridiculous module damage. The rate of fire is not that bad either. You can pump out a shot every 23 seconds in stock configuration. This means that your DPM is at around 2800 with the standard round and 3500 with the premium shells, should you penetrate every shot. The accuracy is obviously not the best at 0.52 along with pretty mediocre handling, but it's nothing compared to a KV2 or some of the other lower tier derps. You can snapshot fairly well, and 0.5 accuracy is not that bad as you don't need to aim for weak spots. At brawling ranges this is more than usable. The Type 5 has the same gun, along with 0.02 better dispersion, slightly better handling, and so on. The reload time is 4 seconds shorter, so you can pump out an insane DPM of 4400 with the premium high explosives, which is simply insane. Obviously you won't be pulling that number very often, as 75mm of penetration is not a lot, but having even 2 penetrating shots in a row is enough to out DPM other tier 10 heavies by quite a significant margin. This makes for some interesting games. So now that we got the stats out of the way, let's talk about how this will affect the metagame of World of Tanks. Honestly, these tanks are fun as fuck to play. Sneaking behind the brawling E5 and putting a 1500 shell into its ass is one of the most exciting feelings you can get playing this game, but it's extremely annoying to face these things on the other side. You can't afford to aim at their weak spots because you know they don't have to, so you snapshot usually bounce and they often manage to still hit you, and they don't care why they do. Hitting the turret of the E5 does a good 400 damage granted, along with potentially destroying its gun and hurting some crew members, which is annoying as hell. This change will also considerably hurt people trying to get damage block missions in 40 campaign tanks, like the T-55A or the T-60. One of these guys on the other team will ensure that you simply will not stand on the battlefield for long enough to bounce the required amount, which makes these already stressful missions even more so. I am honestly not sure about this addition, as I think that the mid-tier Japanese heavies on their own are fairly annoying to deal with, especially the tier 6 OI, but time will tell, I assume. Another super annoying thing is the difference between standard and premium HE rounds. Seeing how there is literally no downside to spamming gold in this vehicle and how much more damage you can do with the 300 additional alpha, expect this vehicle to be a credit drain. In this regard it's very similar to the British Death Star, but in my opinion even more annoying to face against. If these changes make it to the live server, I simply need to recommend everyone to get one of these bad boys, but please don't shoot me. And that's about it for today. If you enjoyed watching, feel free to like the video, subscribe for more, or even leave a comment below. Thanks for watching and see you later.